You will be able to identify and use metric system units in calculations and measurements. The metric system is a system of measurement in base 10. Base 10 means that everything in the system is divided into tens. For example, say we had a bar and its length was 1 meter. If I divided it equally into tens, each chunk would be 1/10 of a meter. One-tenth of a meter, if we convert it to a decimal, would equal 0.1 meters. So if we take a meter and divide it by 10, each chunk will be equal to 0.1 meters or 1 decimeter. Now, if we were to take each decimeter and divide that by 10, each chunk would be equal to 1/100th of a meter. Now, 1/100th of a meter, if we convert that fraction into a decimal, will equal 0.01 meters. 1/100th is 0.01. 0.01 meters is equal to 1 centimeter. The English system that we are familiar with, that's the system that uses yards, feet, inches, miles, etc., etc. That's not in base 10. Everything is not divided evenly into tens like the metric system is. For example, let's take that same bar that we had. What if it was 1 yard in length? Well, that yard can be divided into 3 feet. And each of those feet can be divided into 12 inches. So 1 yard has 3 feet, each foot which has 12 inches is not the same as the metric system where 1 meter divides into 10 decimeters, which divides into 10 centimeters, which divides into 10 millimeters, and so on and so forth. The metric system base units are the basic units of measurement for each major quantity. And the metric system has specific units to measure each thing. For example, length is measured by the meter, mass is measured by the gram, volume is measured by the liter, time is measured by the second, and temperature is measured by the Kelvin. In the metric system, you will not see feet or inches or yards. You will not see pounds or ounces, and you will not see gallons or pints. The metric system uses these specific units, the meter, the gram, the liter, the second, and the Kelvin, in order to measure each quantity. The key to understanding the metric system is to know the prefixes. We're going to start with these right here. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. That's a quick mnemonic that helps us remember what the prefixes are. Kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, and milli. Now, kilo stands for 1,000. So whenever you hear kilo, you should be thinking 1,000. Hecto stands for 100. Deca stands for 10. The base stands for 1. Deci stands for 1/10th. Centi stands for 100th. And milli stands for 1,000th. Now, we want to be able to find the relationship between different units in the metric system. What if we wanted to find a relationship between grams and kilograms? Well, we can look at our prefix chart and we can see that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. And once we understand that, we can write out are equality. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. And it's a good idea to have equalities or comparisons like that memorized. Let's do another one. Let's find the relationship between meters and millimeters, another important metric relationship. 1 millimeter equals 0.001 meters. So if we write that out, 1 millimeter equals 0.001 meters. And as you can see, these all follow the same pattern. For example, 1 kiloliter will equal 1,000 liters. 1 milligram would equal 0.001 grams. So once you understand this pattern, you can come up with a relationship between any metric system unit and its base.